Megan Trainor made you look on the Quad Cities, the #1 music station. This is B100. Hey, what's up? It's Connor Kenney and work with you on this Wednesday. And I feel like we're all going to get stuck inside the next couple of days. So I guess happy last day of work of the week. But, I'm obviously not the weather expert. That's why we have friends that are weather experts. And joining me in studio is meteorologist over at KWQC-TV6 Kevin Phelps. Kevin, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. Struggling with the voice. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
Passing some colds around in our house. The
Sure.
kids are at home, so that's just what's happening right now.
I definitely hear you on that. Yeah. I feel like everyone who listens to me is like, oh, it's just two Connors back to back. So hopefully no one gets us too terribly confused today. But as we all know, there's a small storm coming.
Yeah, if you want to call it a small storm.
Sure.
I mean, the scope of the system is incredible. They have wind chill warnings all the way down to North Texas. So it's one of these things where it's not just going to impact our travel locally. We're talking nationwide disruption. So if you have flight plans, I hope you've already kind of made your reservations or changed them,
right.
Because you're going to be sitting on that phone for a while.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I told you that I had some stupid questions to ask you. So just a couple things. Obviously, the Quad Cities area, most of the counties in the Quad Cities area with the National Weather Service of the Quad Cities issued most of the counties in a winter storm warning. When does that go into effect?
Yeah, it goes into effect later tonight. And the reason why they put it into effect even during the morning hours here and even at midday is because we're within that 24-hour window of when we're going to experience some of those winter weather conditions. Funnily enough, this is not a system that's going to be a big snow producer for us. We're going to pick up maybe 3 up to 5 inches of snow. For us in the Midwest, I mean, that's pretty easy, right?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's light and fluffy, so it's going to blow everywhere. And the idea is there's still going to be a lot of people out on the roads. I can't force people to stay home.
Sure.
I can only advise against it.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is you're going to have these people that are traveling across Interstate 80 or 88 trying to get somewhere safely, and you just got to run out to the grocery store or something.
Yeah.
And then you hit a whiteout, and then things kind of go downhill from there. Then you get the first responders out there. We don't want to put them in danger.
Right.
So, it's not a big snowmaker. It's wind, cold, and the blowing and drifting is going to last long beyond when the flakes are done flying.
And when do we think that the peak of this system moving through our area is going to take place?
I would say between 6 a.m. and noon tomorrow is when we'll see the heaviest snow occur here, specifically eastern Iowa, western Illinois. The strongest winds won't occur until Friday afternoon. Okay. So we're talking gust over 50. If you've lived around here long enough, that's enough to give us some spotty power outages, even on a good
Sure.
day. So
right.
We're expecting that out there as well. But because the snow is light and fluffy, it's going to blow all of Friday and even into Christmas Eve morning, too.
Okay, so here's where my stupid questions,
All right.
This is where Connor's stupid questions come into play. So we have my mom's Christmas in Comanche Friday, dinner's at 6. Am I going to leave from Davenport to drive to Comanche to make it to Christmas dinner by 6?
What time do you plan on leaving?
If I left today,
you would certainly get there today. Yes.
Perfect.
It's one of those things. If you have to get out in it, you could probably manage getting to Comanche. But I mean, if you were traveling, say, to north central Iowa,
sure.
or even if you're trying to get to Chicago,
yeah.
Or Springfield, anything like that, those longer drives are going to be much tougher. It's going to be one of those systems too, where if you live in the metro like I do, it's not really going to be that big of a deal. It's going to be windy. You're going to get some snow. But, man, when you get in those open and rural spaces, there is nothing to stop the wind, and there's nothing from stopping it from blowing right back onto those roads, even if we have all the plows out there.
Sure. And so you said North Iowa, which I'm glad that you said that because so my in-laws' Christmas is in Garner, Iowa, North Iowa, Clear Lake, Mason City. We're supposed to leave on Saturday. Hopefully my wife is listening so she hears your answer. Would you advise us to leave or to stay?
I would advise you to stay,
okay.
but if you did have to leave, I mean, you might be able to manage it by Saturday afternoon.
Sure.
Up in that area, and especially as you get into south central Minnesota as well, right along the Iowa border, there's blizzard warnings that have been posted. And to be honest, we'll probably get upgraded to blizzard warnings around here during the day on Friday. So again, we're not going to have snow falling. It's going to be from the snow that's already on the ground.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you guys have been talking about all this week. We've been watching you all week, and you said, the models of the snowfall was the ones that were
0 to 28 inches, right?
Exactly. I was like, yes, sign me up. It was funny. I saw the National Weather Service of Des Moines put up 7 to 11 inches on Monday night, and then 9 hours later, 3 o'clock in the morning, they said, more like 4 to 6. Does that frustrate you guys a little bit when some of that stuff happens?
A little
share
bit.
Stuff on social media.
Yeah. So the reason why we kind of take the approach we do is we needed to sample that system. We send up weather balloons twice a day. That storm system was still way out in the Gulf of Alaska. We don't have any chance to send up weather balloons out there anyways.
No.
So it finally pulled on the Pacific Northwest here yesterday morning. Once we were able to sample that air mass, we could use that data and actually put it into models. Because until that we do that, we're just using what we think the models are kind of inputting and spitting out what I call garbage data. So garbage in, garbage out. Once you actually get some real data in there, that really affects the outcome of the model runs, and that's what we saw. So that's why I kept joking, hey, between 0 and 28 inches, we'll let you know here in a couple of days.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I saw a lot of those graphics from Central Iowa, from the National Weather Service of Des Moines, shared many times over the last really 72 hours on social media, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to wait for Kevin and Kyle and Eric to give us an actual estimate here for the Quad Cities. And the other thing, too, is we talked about really the models that showed the wind's going to be the strongest, the wind chill temperature is going to go down. And here's the thing that I guess I'm going to throw out there. I used to go to school up in Cedar Falls, used to travel in the wintertime, and I feel like a lot of people go, hey, if I'm just staying on 80 going east and west, I'm fine, even if it's super windy, because if I'm going on the 380 corridor there, the wind's going to blow me right over. Yeah. I mean, what's the fact fiction behind it and all that stuff?
Well, especially on the I-80 corridor, you know, that runs east and west, and we're going to have northwest winds. So that's still a semi-crosswind, and that's going to blow a lot of this right across the road. So unless you're traveling on a road that's going northwest or southeast, you're not going to get much help out of the wind out of this. So that's just one thing to take into account. Wind chills 40 below, so if you do happen to slide off and get stranded, it's really cold. Unless you have enough gas, you're not going to be walking anywhere. And again, you don't want to have first responders to come out in something like this, because you're putting their situation in danger as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, really, I guess the big thing too is, you know, with the winds and the temperatures, even here in the Quad Cities, as those wind chill temperatures set in, of course, reach out to loved ones, especially the elderly, things of that nature.
Yeah, and don't forget about your pets too, man.
Yeah.
I have one dog that he doesn't even like to go outside when it's below 32 degrees. So I can only imagine how quick these potty breaks are going to be here this weekend.
I feel like your dog and I would be best friends, because I too do not like to go outside when it's below 32 degrees. But obviously, you guys are going to be keeping everyone up to date, of course, on TV6, on KWQC.com, on your guys' weather app too. And really, what we say is just what came out of your mouth, and then back
regurgitating it.
Exactly.
Hey, no, we appreciate it. Any way we can get the message out with this system. I know it's going to be a big weekend. I want everybody to get home safe to their loved ones. And if you do have to stay home, maybe we can do FaceTime, celebrate Christmas maybe next weekend on New Year's. Might just be a better idea. I know that's not the most fun thing to do, but that's the situation. That's the hand that we're dealt here right now.
Mrs. Kenney, just letting you know. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays
Merry Christmas
to the Phelps family, and we appreciate you stopping in. Again, we have all the details essentially regurgitated onto the B100 app on our website. Otherwise, Kevin, Kyle, Eric, they had the whole weather team over there at KWQC has you up to date on this storm as it's moving in to the Quad Cities. Kevin, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And don't go anywhere. You too. Don't go anywhere. Music from Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, and more music for your workday is up next on B100.